Hey my Glam Ness babes, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, welcome. If you're true here, hey girl. All right, you guys, I'm here today and we're diving into this bold blue glam that I'm so excited about, and I'll be recording some content after this look, so please stay tuned for how I bring all of this together. I'm also giving you guys a quick update on essentially where I'm at with my manifestation journey. All right, it's been real, all right, but I'm growing through it, and I hope you are too, or at least consider growing through this manifestation journey with me. All right, so you guys, grab your brushes, hit play, all right, and really let's get into it. And if you recreate this look, please be sure to tag me. I would love to see your looks, and I would love to repost it on my channel. I would really like to see your magic, so please tag me. All right, y'all? Well, let's get into this look. Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. You guys, I am recreating this look for a second time because I'm a perfectionist in that regard, working through that. But I wanted to recreate this look because I essentially feel like it could have been better. So here we are. So I'm going in with the, just jumping right on in, you guys. I'm going in with the Bobbi Brown Vitamin Enriched Face Base. This is a 2-in-1. Though I did moisturize my face already. You can never be too moisturized, you know what I'm saying? You can never be too moisturized. So I'm gonna apply that all over to the face and in the neck area. We are also going to add the e.l.f. Power Grip Primer with niacinamide. I like to prime the face so it gives it a nice base when we start the face, because I always do my eyes first. And in doing my eyes first, you guys, I am just prepping and priming, so that's one less step for us to worry about. And we're doing the eyes first because we are using colored eyeshadow, so I don't want to mess up my base. That's the only reason why. I want to make sure my mic is on. The microphone is on, as my girl Jessie Woo says. So, my God. So annoying. So I do realize that when you're working on bettering yourself, you want better for yourself, things are always going to, I didn't even turn on my lights. Good God. Things are always going to come in to test your patience and to test if you really bat it. Because the way technology has been trying my face, and honestly, I've been fighting, but at the same time, I've also been, you know what? You got it. I'ma just, okay? Oh, when I tell you guys, when you're trying to manifest certain things, you're trying to release certain things, everything, I believe, everything starts to work. I don't want to say against you, but it's almost like the universe is really trying to see, you really want this? Do you really want this? Very annoying. As you may or may not know, in my other videos, I've talked about manifestations, and honestly, I'm recreating this look because I feel like I can perfect it. It can be better. It can be a lot better. I expect more from myself, at least at this point, and I'm working on being consistent, you know what I'm saying? And I just feel like I'm trying to get out of that mindset, and instead of seeing it as everything's working against me, everything is working for me, because it's like, are you really for real? You know what I'm saying? And as you guys know, in my videos now, y'all see I'll jump in topic and then stop and pick up the makeup thing. So if y'all like that style, let me know. If it works your nerves, let me know so I can curate it. But I just want to show up real authentic to what I've got going on. But that's essentially what I've been going through, and it's very annoying. All right, you guys, as you know, I want to be very cognizant of how I show this product in the video, because I am recording this for Instagram and YouTube. So if you're not on my YouTube channel, please subscribe. But I am going to do my brows. I'm going to use the Maybelline Tattoo Studio in the color Black Brown, I think it's called. And then of course you're going to lay my, well, you might not know if you're new here, but I'm going to lay my brows with the Got2b Edge Control and Brow Gel. If you know. But all right, back to this whole manifestation, chink dink, whatever you want to call it. And I feel like I'm gonna do my own thing, and if people want to join me, they very well can. But I have been on this 60-day manifestation cleanse, and we are on day 27. And you guys, I'm so proud of me for doing this cleanse, because I have had to start and restart 6 times. Ooh, child. And we are on day 27, and I could never go beyond day, I think the farthest I went was day 11 or 10, and I would stop every time I would restart. I'd have to start all over. I'd go up to day 6, and then I'd have to start all over. But to be at day 27, y'all, what, who am I? That girl, okay? That's who I am. And I'm really proud of me. So the manifestation cleanse that I am doing is from the Armand Wiggins show. He covered the, I didn't know Armand at all. I found him because of the Diddy trial and his antics and the more oil. That's my ninja right now, because more oil. That's not funny, but it is. And I'm gonna stay in the light with this manifestation cleanse, because his story truly inspired me. And y'all, I didn't know his story at all. I did not know his story. I did not know who he was or what he's done or his past experiences. But doing this cleanse, I've gotten to know the other side of Armand, outside of, I guess, the gossip and blog stuff that he does. But this is his cleanse. He does have a book, and you do follow the book. And I did tell myself I was gonna document my journey, I guess, on that, and I really haven't been doing the best job at doing so. And so even though it's 60 days, I'm on day 27. Today's day 27 for me. I figured to keep my word to myself and to the audience that I've curated doing lives on YouTube. That's where I'll be doing my updates. If Armand can go live for 20 days straight, then I can also do a live every single day for the remainder of the 30 days. And that will challenge me to be more comfortable in front of the camera, to not be as avoidant, so to speak. All right, I'm gonna go in and do my brows now. I'm gonna carve out the brows, and we're gonna fill them in. And I need a new brow thing. I have to get these from Amazon, because when I get them from Ulta, they're so dry. It's like, good God. Anyway, so I actually want to do my own cleanse, similar to what Armand's doing, but I want to do it a little bit different. I'm going to add my little zhuzh to it, but more to come on that, maybe later on. I'm still thinking about it. You know what I'm saying? I don't have a community, and I feel like I don't need a community to do that, but I just love what he's created and what he's done. And so I'm really excited to manifest what I'm calling in. And I love his concept behind this, because typically that's all you hear, manifest, but no one really hones in and discusses what you really have to let go in order to attract and call in what you're calling in. You know what I'm saying? Everyone's saying manifest, but sometimes you have junk that you gotta release. You got trauma, unhealed trauma. You know what I'm saying? You got people in your life that you gotta release. You got jobs that you've overstayed your welcome at, which, baby, excuse me, that's where I'm at right now. So I love that, even though we're calling in what we want, but we're also making room for it. And the only way to make room for what you're calling in is to release some things. And I love that his focus is about acknowledging the vice and releasing it, abstaining from it, fasting from it. And I think in one of his lives, he's gonna do a 365-day one. I don't know about that one yet. I don't know about that one yet, girl. But I hate when my brow doesn't do what I need it to do. Also, the purpose of this video, of me recreating this look, is because the content that I created, the video came out blurry. And I ended up just scrapping the whole thing because I'm like, at this point, let's just start over. We're gonna fix this because I don't like it. It's what happens when you talk while doing your brows. We'll clean it up with some concealer, but this brow pot, it's on its last leg and it has served its purpose. I don't like to use concealer to clean the top of my brows, but we're gonna need that here. Because what is this? That's okay. This is why I love makeup too. And this is why I want to challenge myself to record more, because this really is a happy place for me to be in and create and critique myself and improve. I love that for me. And I feel like now that I know the direction that I want to go in with this look, I won't take as long, or at least I hope not. Because I know at some point my devices are going to start saying, all right, girl, we've been on for a hot minute. What are we doing? Don't go breaking on me now. All right. So the next thing I'm going to do is clean up those brows like I said. I am going to use the Dior Forever Skin Correct. I'm in the shade 4 Neutral. Now, this is a new one because my old one finished. And I actually bought another shade, 4.5, but that one's a little bit too warmer for me. So I am going to return that. Well, I'm going to exchange it for the same color. I might as well just stock up on what I need, right? The brush that I use for the brows is, well, the name is gone now, child, but it was a Kiss brush. I'm going in now to clean up the brows with my concealer brush from Beverly Tools. This is the 937 Precision Concealer Brush. This is what she looks like. And we're just gonna dive right on in. Now, I wanna be more clean, so I'm gonna use my pan, all right? You know what I'm trying to say. Now, obviously, I would just go in with my brush on that felt tip. Now, if I were doing a client's face, essentially, I would just put it on the pan. But I'm trying to stick to the practices that have got me where I've gotten, if that makes sense. Now, I do tend to get quiet here. With this being said, I am not going to bring the concealer all the way down because we are going to use a primer. Leave that right there like that. I'm gonna do the other side. Alrighty. This is not my best work, but we're gonna keep it pushing because we're gonna trust the process. All right, I don't like to do this, but I didn't want to start over. So here we are. All right. Sometimes you just gotta take drastic steps, you feel me? All right, so I'm gonna go in with this Tarte double-sided angled brush. This, I'm gonna have to reheat it because it broke. Very sad about that. And like I said, I am not bringing this concealer down to my lid because we are going to use a primer, but I do wanna buff that out. I like this concealer because once it dries down, you're still able to buff it out. It's still creamy enough to buff it out where it's not leaving any harsh lines. 10 out of 10, recommend. Dior hit my line. Let's work. I want some brand deals. Definitely into my luxury makeup. All right, you guys, let's rock and roll. This, not in love, but I'm not mad. You know what I'm saying? I can live with it. I am going to use this brush, the 937 Beverly Tools Bold Concealer Brush, to clean up our cut crease, but that's going to be at a later time. We're going to move right along. You guys, we're going to prime our eyes using the Anastasia Beverly Hills primer. This is what she looks like. I have to shake this thing. Interesting. So we're going to pop this right along. I am going to use this Pro concealer brush from Sephora. This is number 57. I'm going to put this all over the lid. I'm going to add the remainder of what was left on the pan. I want to make sure that our colors pop. I'm going to drag that under our lash line. Not too much because we don't want a whole lot of product in there, because remember, we are going to be Placing our concealer there. I like that. I'm going to take this iconic Lord, what are these called? And I'm going in with my Huda Beauty setting powder in Sugar Cookie. Okay, this is what she looks like. We're just gonna add a touch of that to the eyelid. We're also gonna add setting powder to our brows, and we're gonna allow them to bake. If you're an oily girl, this is a key step to ensuring that your brows stay on all day. We bake them suckers. Okay, well, I do. Not too much. And same thing for the face. If you're an oily girl, you definitely want to use the setting powder on the face prior to essentially moving forward with the lid. All right, so next we have our primer on our eye. I feel like we should have paired some more, but you know what? We're gonna keep it going. The palette that we are using is by P. Louise. It's called Stack 'em Up, Say Less and Do More. It is called Talk is Cheap. This is what she looks like. Amazeballs. Very vibrant colors, and I'm very excited to be using this palette again. The colors that we're going to use are Hustle, Talk is Cheap, Level Up, Money Moves. And I just want to point out that these are manifestation affirmations. Hustle. Well, we don't want to really hustle. We want to hustle into our soft life. Talk is cheap, so say what you mean what you say. Level up our thinking, level up our surroundings, level up our souls, right? And money moves. Because we could all use a little bit more money. I know I can. And Get Up and Grind. I'm definitely going to use Get Up and Grind. This is a iridescent shade right here. So let's get right to it. I'm going to use Hustle. That's that light blue shade. I am going to go in with, I think I want to use a more tapered blending brush. I don't even see. Oh, here you are. I'm going to use a more tapered blending brush. More dense. This is the Japanese brush. And I'm going to go in with our transition shade, Hustle. That's that baby blue color. And make sure you guys, when you're picking up these colors, you tap the excess off. This is Hustle right here, because the fallout is going to be real. We're going to put that right in the crease area, or the outer crease area rather, just to build that transition shade. I like to start in the middle and then simply do the windshield wiper circular motion to build out that shape. And don't be afraid to go back in to the palette to start building that color. But this is how we're doing that. And this is essentially going to be our transition shade. Now, the way I cut the crease last time, I'm not going to do it the same way. I'm going to try a different technique and hope to God it works out in my favor. But so far, so good. And P. Louise, their palettes, their eyeshadow palettes, this palette came along with a storybook. I have featured that storybook in my other tutorials, and I didn't really like the shades because they were chalky. They didn't really blend well. But these Stack 'em palettes, because I have two. I have this blue one, I have this pink purple one, and I can't remember what the other color was. But these colors are not disappointing at all. They're giving what they're supposed to give. And I think part of setting up and actually doing the tutorial is the products that you're working with. And if you enjoy the products that you're working with, this whole process is seamless. Make sure y'all can see me. And some of the mistakes, let me just point it out, that I saw from this last look. This transition shade, it's not a problem for some people, but for me, I didn't want it all the way up to my brow bone. I wanted to leave some room between where the eyeshadow starts in the upper crease area to where it ends, touching my brow bone, my actual brows. And I didn't want that. I didn't like that. That to me is just messy. Some people might feel differently, and that's okay. But the way we're gonna cut the crease, I'm gonna try something different. And then I also had harsh lines that I was like, ooh, this was very amateurish. And I think I was very nervous because cut creases aren't my strongest suits, but this is where I challenge myself. You don't get better by avoiding something, you get better by actually practicing. So here we are. I am also going to recreate the purple pink look that I did, that I never posted. I like how this is. Loving this. All right, so I feel like we have a good color payoff. Now we're going to build the inner crease color. We're going to go in with the Beverly Tool 776 blending brush. We're going to add our crease color into the crease area, and I have hooded lids, you guys, so I'm going to go in with Talk is Cheap. It's this color here. And another thing about these eyeshadows, they have these holograms imprinted. Is it a hologram? Am I saying that right? I don't know. All right, I'm putting Talk is Cheap in the crease area. Kind of repeating the same steps here, but just focusing that on the crease. And I feel like me doing this, I am a little bit more confident in what I'm doing. So I love that for me. All right, we're gonna rinse and repeat and work on the other side. I find that one eye is always different from the other. This sucker be pissing me off. All right, just to bring back that intensity, we're gonna go back into Hustle, bring that back a little bit. And this is why I didn't want the color all the way up to the brown bone, just to give us that opportunity to set our meeting. If you've never learned anything from me in my tutorials, please blend. Blend for your lives. Blend to save your life. Blend. How do you say blend in Creole? Boise? I feel like boise is stir. We're gonna go back into Talk is Cheap because we lose the intensity when we do all that blending. So you just want to add that back, but I'm not taking it all the way up. I'm just focusing it in the folds where the crease is. Love that for us. I'm not adding anything to the brush, the Japanese brush that we're using to blend the colors. I'm just using what's already on here. All right, now I'm going back in to Hustle. Do the hustle. Do the hustle. Don't mind me, y'all. Going back in with Talk is Cheap again. Listen, rinse and repeat. All right, I'm gonna leave this right here. And then we're going to deepen the outer V. We're gonna create a V. We're gonna just deepen that outer V right quick. For that, we are going to use a more concise brush. What do I want to use, honey? Listen, I need brushes because this ain't cutting it. All right, I am going to use the Morphe LC4 brush. This is from their collaboration with Lucky Charms. I love it when brands do like these collabs, not necessarily with celebrities, but actual brands. Not that the celebrity is not a brand, but all right, I'm using the shades Level Up, this right here. I'm gonna create that outer V just to give us that really smoked out look. Kind of buff that into the crease area again to create that nice transition. Now again, blending all these colors, you'll see start to lose some intensity, but that's okay. So we're gonna go back in and rinse and what? Repeat. All right, so I'm gonna go in with Talk is Cheap just to marry the two, right? And we're gonna go in with Hustle just to not lose that transition intensity and just to diffuse the two colors coming together. Well, three at this point. I'm gonna do the same for other side, my left eye. Saying that made me think of the singer, rapper in the TLC group. Going back in with Hustle, going back in with Talk is Cheap. I am going to use a different brush. I think I'm going to go in with this one. This is a shader brush. I'm not sure the brand, but I'm going in with Level Up just to blend that outer corner, create that real smoky effect, just to build up that intensity. This reminds me of the ocean, where you have certain parts of the world, you got crystal clear waters, and this is so pretty. All right, y'all, I think I'm going to stop here. I'm gonna hold my breath because we're gonna cut the crease now. And to cut the crease, I will be using the Garnier Skin Active Micellar Cleansing Water. We're using that. I am going to clean off the Beverly Tool 937 concealer brush because we're gonna cut the crease. We're gonna clean up and cut the crease with this brush and the micellar water. And in doing so, we are then going to carve out the crease with the Danessa Myricks Beauty Color Fix in Pastel. This is in the color Oasis. Love that for us. All right. I'm going to put the micellar water in this clean jar that I have. I think I want to use a clean paper towel. courtesy of Costco. I am essentially going to carve out and clean up the crease, right? Because we do have hooded eyes, so I want the pastel color to really pop here. They're gonna stop right here. And that's the thing with hooded eyes, because, ooh, Lord, it'd be annoying. All right, let's do this. Probably don't want this too wet. I feel like with the brush, I have a little bit more precision. Now that we're doing this, I realize one thing that can help me out here is some Q-tips. So I have some that I've been keeping for safekeeping, because we definitely want a clean canvas. So when we add the color, it has a soft space to land. I'm liking how this is turning out. I like it a lot. We're gonna work on the other side. We're gonna leave that alone. So like that low, I'm kind of proud of myself. I am. Last time I didn't do it like this, and your girl struggled. All right, y'all. Oh, I'm loving this. Yes. All right, so now I'm gonna use the same brush. I'm gonna clean it off with the micellar water. And we're going to add, we did that. We are going to add Oasis. So we cleaned it up, and now we're gonna add our base color, and then we're gonna continue on with the look. So I'm gonna still use the concealer brush. We cleaned off the concealer brush, the Beverly Tools 937 concealer brush. And I'm gonna go ahead and add Oasis to the area in which we cleaned up the eyeshadow. Ooh, something's itchy. Slow and steady. Doing it different than what I did initially. I'm gonna buff out the edges right here, because I don't want any harsh lines. We can always build upon that. I definitely don't want any harsh lines here. That was one of my issues. So it's nothing like creating a look and getting an opportunity to recreate it, to essentially execute your vision. You feel me? Love that. Let's work on the other side. We're gonna rinse and repeat there. I hope y'all can see what I'm doing. I'm gonna need scissors because there's an area on this brush that if I continue, it will mess up what I'm trying to accomplish. It's like one of the bristles are coming off. Boom. Let's get it. Took some more of that Oasis. Slow and steady, baby. Slow and steady. Sometimes you just gotta go for it. You feel me? All right, y'all. I think we did it, Joe. I think we did it. All right, y'all. I like what we have here. There go the perfectionist in me. All right, we did it. Let's move right along. Let's do it. Let's do it. Do it. All right, come on. I'm so excited. This worked. My idea in my head materialized, and it worked. So now we're going to go in with, we're going to use the colors Hustle on the lid, Money Moves as a transition, Talk is Cheap, and Level Up. We're probably going to use Level Up when we're doing our liner, but let's get to it. So I am going to add Money Moves. Well, I'm sorry, Hustle first. That's that baby blue color. We're going to do that on the inner part of the lids. I'm going to use that brush that we used to buff out Oasis. We're just going to just pack it in. Nothing serious. Just pack that color in. Probably won't see a huge color payoff, that is, because they are essentially the same color, but we're just going to pack that in. You'll see the lid, it'll start to be and look seamless, which I love. I'm going to take that, we're going to do the other side. We're just packing that color on. We're not really doing anything. We're just packing that color on, because right now we hustling, right? We hustling, and then we're about to make some money moves. Just saying, somebody cue Cardi B. We're hustling and we're about to make some money moves. And then I'm gonna take, where are you? I'm gonna take brush. Do I want to take this brush? Maybe the paintbrush will be helpful here, because I do need another flat brush. This is a random paintbrush that I found at the dollar store. Is it the dollar store anymore? Because $1.25. It's very annoying. But I'm gonna go in with Money Moves. That's that teal color right here. Build that transition. We're gonna put it right in the center of the lid. just right in the center. I'm gonna do the other side, right in the center. We ain't gotta go. We just making money moves at this point because we have hooded lids, y'all. Make sure you get all the, get in there, get in there. And we're not blending, we're just packing. We're just making money moves at this point. And then we're gonna go in with our Bdellium Tool blending brush that we used. Talk is cheap, because talk is cheap if there's no action behind it. We're just gonna pack that right on in here. All right, we're just packing that in. We're not doing anything, we're just packing it in. Pack it in, just packing that baby in. We'll worry about blending later. We're just packing it in. Once we pack that in, we're gonna take this LC brush that we've used already. We're gonna take Level Up, and we're just going to buff out Level Up and marry those colors, specifically Talk is Cheap, together like so. Then we're gonna take that blending brush that we used to kind of intensify and blend those colors. Well, we're just gonna rinse and repeat. This is where I like to start blending those colors together, overlapping them. We're taking Hustle, kind of going over money moves. We're gonna take the brush that we use for money moves, that flat painting brush, and we're gonna go over what we just did with Hustle. Pack that baby in, kind of like marry the two together and create a seamless transition. And this is how you essentially like blend your colors. And then we're gonna do the same for Talk is Cheap. Be careful if you're using this tempered blending brush. I am, just to not create mess, because it's easy to do. We're gonna take the brush for money moves, overlap it with Talk is Cheap. I am so proud of myself, right? We're gonna take that blending brush for Level Up, not from, but for, and just kind of blend. Make sure Talk is Cheap is seamlessly blended into that. I'm gonna take the tapered blending brush we used in the beginning when we started this look for Hustle. You see why we left that that brow space? Because look how now we're doing all this blending. It's literally touching now, which I'm not mad at it. And I am going to take this. This is another no-name brush, but it's like a pencil. I don't know. It's a painting brush, y'all. And then I'm gonna go in with Talk is Cheap. We're intensifying our cut crease with Talk is Cheap. Small baby strokes. Then we're gonna take that tapered blending brush for Hustle. We're just gonna lightly blend that out. You will get fallout, but you already know what it is. Once we get fallout, what we do, rinse and repeat. All right, bring back that intensity to that lid shade in case there's some fallout and you want to clean up that line. All right, y'all, loving this. So the last thing I'm going to do for the eyes is add that in an inner corner color, but I'm going to use the Get Up and Grind as an inner corner color. So let's do that, and then we're going to take a short intermission and come back for the face. So we're going to allow the devices to charge. Now I feel like that I'm more confident in what we've created. I feel a lot better creating content. All right, you guys, I will be right back so we can get sorted on the face. Guys, we are back. We're going to work on the face. I've already primed my face earlier in our video before we started our eyes. So essentially I am just going to add the one size, and this is the Oil Sucker Extreme Mattifying Alkaline Primer. I am an oily girl, and if you're an oily girl like me, you need this in your life. It does what it says it's going to do, and we are here for it. So I don't know what the other girl used to be talking about, but this right here, T. Lock it. All right, So I'm gonna add this to my face. And do I want to add this with a brush or do I want to just add this? I'm gonna just use my hand. I'm not gonna use a whole lot, but I am gonna use it in my T-zone since that's essentially where I tend to get the most oily. I don't like to add product to my nose because it almost always never works out in my favor. I do have some fallout, so we're gonna clean that up. Probably should have done this before I started the video, but that's okay because we're not perfect. All right, I am using baby wipes. I got these baby wipes from the dollar store, but is it really the dollar store anymore? The dollar store ain't dollar storing like it used to. Just taking excess product. Now, I didn't add eye cream and I forgot to grab it, so I'm just going to use the Bobbi Brown primer to moisturize under the eye. Not gonna use a whole lot. Oh, I'm gonna spread the wealth here. I really love how my eye turned out. We still need to do our eyeliner and so forth, but I'm not worried about that. We can definitely complete that as we go along, but we're gonna move right along. And I wanna do that. I don't know, we'll see. But for now, what we'll do is, y'all know I love to underpaint. So I am definitely going to underpaint by using my trusted concealers. Oh, here it is. Where's the other one? All right, y'all know I like to use the Tarte Shape Tape. And then of course the Dior Skin Correct Concealer. And just to brighten up the eyes. Now, part of the reason why, again, I'm doing this video is because I am recording content after this. I will be recording a beauty vlog discussing all of the products that I've accumulated from all of the Sephora sales. I am behind the 8 ball when it comes to that, but no judging. We listen and we don't judge. So part of that is adding new brushes, my contour shade or contour product for me to use. And so I'll be talking about all the things. And so once I have that video completed and uploaded, you'll see me incorporate those products into said videos. But for now, I've done a pretty damn good job without having a contour shade when I do my underpainting. If you go to my past videos and watch all of that, you'll see what I mean, you know? But for the most part, like I said, I'm using my pan. We're doing something different. Instead of taking the product and applying it exactly onto the face, I'm gonna put it on the pan and then use the brush to apply it because I want a more flawless, seamless look, but also to decrease the amount of product that I'm using on my face to not waste it. You know what I'm saying? Because these products, baby, this economy that we're in, I need all my coins. I love to buy makeup, but whew, I definitely got my rouge status for Sephora, but that, y'all know, is not cheap. I think you have to spend $1,000 a year for makeup, and that wasn't hard to do because I had clients, but I love makeup. So to keep $1,000, that's some coins. You know what I'm saying? That's some coins, and we don't take that lightly. So I've got my concealer on the pan. I'm gonna go ahead and take my, I should have cleaned this. God, you know what? No. It's okay because we have a concealer brush that we are going to use. Damn, this is why I need more brushes. You know what I'm saying? But let's clean this because we're gonna clean the concealer brush that we use, which is the Bedellium Tool 937 brush, right? We're gonna clean that off and we're gonna use it to apply our concealer to highlight our T-zone and under eyes to bring dimension to the face. But again, we're underpainting, so technically I didn't really lose any dimension. Look at this, y'all. This is what I'm doing. You would have thought the break that I took to allow my devices to charge, which I'm realizing I'm gonna need 2 of everything, so I can just not lose time and continue on. Now, I have done that for my lights, but other devices that I use, I need to do that. All right, here we go. So I do like to use the lighter shade on the inner corner and then just, it's like a ombre effect, so to speak. And I'm just applying that right into the under eye. Then I'm gonna go in with the middle shade, apply that. And this is both the Tarte and two Tarte shades. And now I'm going in with the Dior concealer and I'm applying that. Now I do want to clean the under eye up a little bit. So let me put the pan down. All right, I like that. I'm gonna go in with the other one. I'm gonna go ahead and start adding concealer to the other areas. And I'm mixing all the shades at this point, y'all. My nose is a pain point for me because the girl, she be dry, then she's not dry. I don't know. I did scrub my face prepping for today, and I have been hydroplaning as well. So I'm gonna go ahead and spray the Charlotte Tilbury setting spray. Party all night, stay all day. I wish I could play music, but honestly, with the way these social media platforms, especially TikTok is really working my nerves. I have gotten a violation and I'm like, what? All right, I'm gonna buff out my chin area. I like to do this area first since it tends to dry a lot quicker. I'm gonna do the forehead area as well. Buff that area out, bring it close to the brows to buff out the outer edges of that, and then make it seamless. I like that, I like that. Now, with this area, my chin, since I have rows there, my laugh lines, smile lines, whatever you want to call it, I'm gonna set that with some setting powder because I hate having that. And I also have a product that I'm going to incorporate in my routine to ensure that my smile lines behave. All right, you guys, I forgot to tell you what brush I'm using. I'm using the Real Techniques 402 brush, and I'm just buffing, starting from the bottom and of course working my way up using a tapping motion. Let's go ahead and buff out le concealer. Now see, when you don't have a lot of product, it tends to dry a little bit faster, which is a good thing, but at the same time it's like, eh. All right, let's work the other side before it completely dries. Even though we sprayed our face, I guess I didn't spray a whole lot. Tapping motion is ideal here. I like how that turned out. And this also keeps me from using so much product where it sets in under the grooves, the lines under my eye, because it will do that. It's getting hot in here, so I have to turn on my air. Next thing we're gonna do is we are going to use the Ness Yummy Skin Blurring Balm. I'm in the color 6. This is what she looks like. I love this stuff. Again, if you're an oily girl, true and true, this is amazing because it dries down as a powder. Now we'll use my fingers for this just to help melt the product into my skin. And I love to use this because as you notice, I don't use any concealer to spot correct, so to speak. I'm just using my finger. I feel like this neutralizes my face. It also aids in color correcting. So I love that for me. As you notice, I only went around where I placed the concealer, where the concealer essentially stops. I didn't add it into my forehead area simply because I don't want a whole lot of product since we're going to use other products to build out the face. So now I am going to use my beloved foundation. I thought I had her here, but clearly I didn't take her out of the box. All right, you guys, I'm using the Prada foundation. This is the Prada Skin Optimizing Foundation. It also has SPF 17, I believe it is. Yep, SPF 17. I like this foundation a lot. It keeps me mattified. So I'm just gonna squirt a couple of drops here on my pan, and then I'm going to use this Real Techniques foundation brush. I think it's a seamless complexion brush where I'm going to buff that foundation in. As you can see, it's on my pan. Made a little, looks like a little heart. I think I squirted a little bit too much. I'm just stopping that right where we added our concealer. I don't want to take that up too much, but I am bringing it down over to my chin area. Don't forget the neck, y'all. Looks like I got bit. Interesting. Do not forget the neck. Now whatever's left on the brush is what I'm adding to my forehead area. Now since I did squirt all this, we're not gonna waste this product, honey. We're gonna go in for a second coat. I don't even have earrings on. What was I thinking when I sat down for this live? Clearly I wasn't. All right, y'all. Loving the color payoff for this. All right, we're gonna leave it right there. My eyes stay itching. Like I said, whatever I have on the brush is what I'm using on the forehead, and it doesn't feel like a whole lot of product, which is fine with me. We're gonna move right along. I'm gonna use the Rare Beauty Joy. We're gonna use that for blush. This is a corally shade, which I appreciate because since the eyes are so bold, you know what I'm saying? We don't wanna like use too much loud colors on the face. So this is the Beverly Tools, what number is this? 960 Precision Blusher brush. All right, all of the Beverly Tools brushes that I'm using, I got that on Amazon a couple of years ago. These brushes have been washed, they've traveled with me, and these are my personal brushes. I do not use these on clients, but my babies, they're doing a damn thing. All right, I love this so much. We're gonna leave that there. I am going to add a little bit more concealer, of more so the brighter shade under the eye, so that you can poop. All right, I am going to build this out a little bit for contour purposes. I'm going to use and I'm not going to let this dry too much since it's super thin, the Pro Concealer Brush 71 from Sephora. I've had this brush, but I've never used it. So I'm like, girl, what are we doing? Clearly buying stuff and not using it. Who does that? We're not going to be doing that. So I'm going to go ahead and buff what we just placed down out. And I love this brush because it is getting into the nitty gritty. Whatever I have left on the brush is what I'm going to use, because I'm seeing some blue eyeshadow that I want to conceal. I love that for us. And this brush is definitely doing what it needs to do. Do the kids still stay safe per? I don't know if they do, if they don't. But I like that it gets around the crevices of my nose, because your girl's nose is nosing. Thank you to my beautiful, lovely Haitian parents for that. Love how that turned out. We're gonna add some translucent powder to just go ahead and set all of that. I'm using the other side of the Real Techniques 402 brush, just taking a light load of that. I'm gonna go back in with that Pro Concealer brush from Sephora, make sure that there's no product sitting under the lines under my eye. And I'm gonna go ahead and add that setting powder from Huda Beauty, Sugar Cookie. I used to stand for, and I'm doing the other thing, repeating the same thing for the other side. But I used to stand for one size's setting powder, but the girlies were ranting and raving about this Huda Beauty powder, and I just had to try it, and now I'm obsessed. All right, I am gonna bake under the eye, even though we just did what we did. I love that for me. Taking the same powder, but this time using the puffer, and I'm just carving out what we did. Let that sit there like that. And then we are going to set our face with the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish. I am in the color tan. All right, she's a whole key. We're gonna use the puffer, Charlotte Tilbury. Show y'all what I'm doing. And just to be on the safe side, I'm gonna take my, what is this, 241 brush, just to make sure everything is on the up and up. And we're setting the face. I am obsessed with this powder. The way I look, just obsessed. You know what, y'all? I didn't set the center of my face. I'm gonna go ahead and take some more of that translucent powder from Huda Beauty, Sugar Cookie, and set the face. The only reason why I haven't set my nose is because I need to buff that out. Just want to make sure we're on the up and up in regards to that. Loving how that looks, right? Don't forget the neck areas. All right, so we're gonna move right along. We're gonna build out our contour. I am going to use Juvia's Place Bronzy. Why is my thing looking so dirty? We're using Juvia's Place Bronzing. This is what she looks like. I'll be using both shades. And the brush that I'll be using, I had one of these and I thought I was going to use it, but I guess not. Oh well. All right, I'm going to go in with my contour, as you all already know, and if you don't, now you know. The 944 tapered contour brush from Beverly Tools. Again, I got this from Amazon. If you want me to drop the link, just comment and let me know. Hey girl, send me that link and I'll be more than happy to oblige. Now I am going to use both of these shades, all right? And I do like to smile. I like to smile when I bust out the contour. It helps me place the contour shade exactly where it needs to be, so that way I'm not overpowering the blush shade. You feel me? I'm gonna pack this in and then buff that out. I did get a tan, and this is part of the reason why I wanted to recreate this video too, is because when I do my contour, I stay messing up my forehead, and then I look like I'm two colors. Who has time for that? I don't have time for this. One and done. But like this. Like that. Isn't that what Auntie Tabitha says? And I appreciate those that are not judging me for having this bonnet in my head. I will take it off for other videos, but I just want to make sure that this blend is seamless. You feel me? Especially for the contour area. And there, I'm going to take some of that Charlotte Tilbury and use the foundation brush just to marry the two. I'm like, I didn't do that last time, and maybe that's what I needed to like make it a seamless transition. Like that. Listen, this powder can do no wrong. If they ever stop making this, I don't know what I'm going to do with my life, y'all. All right, I'm loving how that turned out. I am, because I like to be extra, going to go in with Mented Cosmetics. This is their Beach Bum Bronzer. If I can get it open. I'm going to add some of that to my contour because I'm extra, because I can. And I love that for me. All right. I like how that turned out. Ooh, why's my ear itching? Next, y'all, what is next? What are we doing? We are going to carve out our contour just to sharpen that a little bit. We needed some more powder. I want to make sure we're even here. You know? All right, I like it. So now let's add our blush. And again, if you've been in my previous videos, this is my universal palette. I love this palette. This is the Warrior 2 palette by Juvia's. I'm going to use this middle shade here in the name of Zama. We're going to use that for our blush, even though it's an eyeshadow. We're going to use it for our blush. I'm using the blusher brush that we use to buff out the liquid blush that we use. And maybe I can probably use, I might mix it too. So Juvia's Place also has their blushed duo as well. This is volume 1 blush rougey, and they have this beautiful orange shade. We're going to use that as well. I am going to tap off the excess on the back of my hand since I don't want it to be whoosh on the face. So we're just adding that on top of where we added the liquid blush. I'm gonna buff that out. It's just not sitting in one area. Love that color payoff. Last time I used a pink shade, and although it was pretty, I needed more of a corally shade. All right guys, let's move right along. Being that we have our setting powder under our eye, I am going to do under the eye, and then we're gonna finish our eyes and add our lashes in our final touches. All right, we're gonna go in with Talk is Cheap. We're gonna layer that with, Level Up. Talk is Cheap, Level Up. And then we'll buff everything out with Hustle. I'm not gonna lie, y'all. These eyeshadows and these palettes they really outdone themselves with P. Louise. All right, I'm going in with Level Up. Just deepen. This is so pretty. I'm so excited. In doing this, I realized I need 2 of everything. All right, we're gonna take Hustle, try to buff that out a little bit. And then we're gonna take some Money Moves, mix that in there as well. Every time I say Money Moves, I think of the Cardi B song. And remember, y'all, we did use Get Up and Grind as our highlight shade, so just to re-intensify that, I'm just using the same brush, just clean it off. The reason why I'm not getting the intensity is because I probably need to wet the brush, because what the heck. There we go. All right. Now let's do our liquid liner. I am going to use a pencil liquid liner from Wet n Wild, their felt tip. Oh, let me show you guys. Using the Wet n Wild felt tip liner. I feel like I'm going to get a more precise color payoff. Then I'm going to use that same brush we used for the inner corner, clean that off, and go in with Level Up to buff that liner so it can look seamless. Make sense? Boom. Rinse and repeat. All right, same thing. I get real quiet, y'all. Concentrating. All right. So for lashes, guys, I am going to use my brand's lashes. This is in the style Dazzle. She's a whole vibe. But essentially, this is what Dazzle looks like. She's a whole vibe. I've already sized this to my eyes. I'll be using the Eye Envy waterproof eye glue. Since I've already sized this to my eye, once I add the glue, I'm going to allow the glue to dry. We'll finish off the rest of the face. All right, now that that's done, let's buff out what we need to. I do need to contour my nose. What did I do with it? Let's go ahead and handle that right quick. My nose always comes out patchy. I'm gonna have to figure this out. Right now, guys, we are putting the final touches of my face. Why am I rushing? Calm down, girl. You do not need to rush. All right. Then we're going to retouch the brows. Again, using the the Juvia's Place Warrior 2 palette. I'm going to use the shade Walzana here. It's gonna touch up the brows, kind of fill in what needs to be filled in. Alrighty, I love it. All noses are not created equal. All right, so I'm going to spray my face before we add the lashes. I'm using my trusted Amazon fan. I'm going to go in with the Charlotte Tilbury Party All Night, Stay All Day setting spray. Then I'm going to go in with the Kryolan fixing spray. If you know, you know. Okay. We're gonna hold it right there. Ooh, Lord have mercy. Wonderful. And we're gonna add our lashes. Now, I do like to add a little bit more glue before I pop them on, just in case, especially on the outer corners. I always do this. I do like to use my tweezers to apply my lashes. For the girlies that can just pop them on, kudos to you. That ain't me. I'm all right with it. I didn't add my mascara. Let's add my mascara. I'm using the I Make Cold. If you know about this brand, hurry up and go get you some before it's all gone. Very annoying. Every time you find something good, it goes away. I like to pop my lashes in the center and then secure the outer corners. This is what happens. Just gonna clean this off and start over. That is okay. My eyes are watering as well. All else fails, start over. All right, you guys. While we wait for that to dry, typically when my eyes are watering like this, there's only one explanation. I got crust in my eye. Take it up. Only one plausible explanation. All right, y'all, let's go ahead and work on our lips. I am going to use soft brown pencil liner from Nabi. I got this from Amazon. This is the color back here, and obviously I can show you the color there. We are going to line our lips. I feel like my lip gloss is already gone, so it is what it is. I wanted a corally lip, and I feel like this might give it to me, but not this corally. This is super corally. I am gonna warm this up just a tinge with MAC's Cork lip liner. A1 since day one. I'm over here overlining my lips. Definitely didn't plan on doing that. Alrighty. We're gonna take our Morphe Lucky Charm L1 brush to buff out those edges Why my nose always want to run? Does anybody suffer from that? All right, let's go ahead and pop this lash on at one time, because I thought I would have been done, but here we are still. Very aggy. All right, we rocking and rolling and walking. Then add this liquid lipstick from, or liquid gloss, I'm not sure what it is really, from Tarte, called Hella. This is what she looks like. That for me. Put it in there like that, like so. One thing I hate is when the lip be going all over the place. Ain't nothing a little concealer won't fix. Think of setting powder as like an eraser and concealer. All right, so now finally for our lip, we're gonna add some gloss. This is the Huda Beauty's Faux Filler, and this is in the color She Flirty. That off will be the final look, guys. Ooh, Lord, yes, girl. Always something that you want to like fix. Or, oh, not me poking my own eye out. Now, I didn't spray the last spray. We're going to do that now. This is the On Into Dawn One Size. Y'all already know, okay? You already know it. Stop acting like you don't know. Ooh, these scents are strong. But this is the final look, guys. Oh my God, I love this so much. This is the finished and final look. Now I'm gonna go record my content. If you like this look, please come back for more. And if you recreate this look, please tag me. All right, y'all, we'll have some fun like this next week, same time, same place. All right, bye.